Welcome, challengers. I'm so excited to have a group this big going through this program. We have over 20 people signed up to do this, and I think it's just awesome that people are making this choice to make some changes. It's been a pretty stressful year so far, and change for a lot of people can be stressful. We're not going to let that happen here. We want this change to be exciting. We want you to get excited about the changes that you're going to see in yourself over the next 30 days. What we're going to do is focus on strength, conditioning, mobility, hydration, and cleaning up the diet some. We're not going to do anything crazy. You may decide once you get started that you want to make additional dietary changes. That's terrific. But we want to start with sort of a compound, and Darren Hardy's compound effect, he talks about getting a penny every day and compounding it over time. So if you have struggles or whatever, that's okay. What you want to do is celebrate the wins, because we don't do enough of that as it is. And Lord knows this year we need to do a lot of celebrating when we can. So one of the things I want to make sure that you know about is on the app, there is a section in your metric section where you can enter your beginning weight if you would like, and body fat if you have a way of measuring it. And photos. And photos I really like because you really can see a difference not just in weight, but just maybe how posturally you look, like you feel more energetic, or you just look stronger or more upright. And the cool thing is if you put a photo in the beginning and you put another one in at the end, the app allows you to sort of scroll, and it starts to look like you're watching a metamorphosis, which is really super cool. So when it comes to the strength training part of it, we are going to be doing it based on the usual 5 pillars of training that we do here at Train Smarter: the push, pull, hinge, squat, and loaded carry. Except we're not going to do the loaded carry part because it just sounded like it might get to be a little kind of awkward for people, since we're trying to stay as close to body weight as we can to make it easy for everybody to always have the right thing around that they need to work with. So let's talk about the strength first. When it comes to the hinge, you're going to, this first week, for the hinge, you're going to stand on one leg, lift the opposite leg back, and come over and rotate back up. So it looks like this. I'm here. I'm going to pick this leg up, keep my head up, keep my back straight, and come over and back up. Now, if that's something that you don't have the balance for, or you just feel like you just can't do that without holding on to something, grab something and hold on to something. Maybe hold on to something with 2 hands to start with and move to 1 hand if you have to. The operative issue here is keeping your knee straight, nothing moves except here at the hips, and hold your back up straight, so don't round over. It's pretty simple. If you have any questions on any of this, please let me know, because I can send you more videos with more explanations. Now, the squat part is just going to be come down and up. So for the first week, we're just going to do just that, just down and up. And with that, you want to make sure that you look up, just like I'm looking up here at you. You want to make sure that you don't round your back over. You want to make sure that you keep your weight back in your heels. That's one of the really important parts. So make sure that you have a vertical shin. So it is up and down. If you have weight, you are welcome to add weight to that. Remember, over time, we're going to be adding more repetitions. This first week on all these exercises, we're going to be doing 15 repetitions. So beginning now, you might be able to add some weight if you have it. Toward the end, it might get to be a whole lot harder. Now, the third thing we're going to be doing is push-ups. So you can do your push-ups in the floor if you can. You can do your push-ups up against a table, up against a wall. In this case, I've got this counter here. And for some people, this might be a good height to start with, pushing here. On this one, make sure that your elbows are away from your body here. Make sure that your elbows are lower than your shoulders, not up here. You don't want to go too far, so you want to stop when your elbows are at the same plane as your shoulders here. And the most important part is make sure you keep your belly tight, so no sagging here as you're pushing. Find a surface that feels like it works for you. If it's the wall, that's fine. Wherever you got to start, that's where we start. For the pull, if you have, everybody that I've heard from has either a band or some kind of small weights. Later on, we're going to move to a more sophisticated pulling exercise. But for right now, if you don't have a band, come hinge forward. So I'm here like this, and lift your weight just straight out here like this. This will still work your postural muscles, even if it's not a very heavy weight. If you have a band, take your band, hold it out here, and pull it apart. Think about initiating this with your back, not so much with your arms. Squeeze your shoulders back, lift your chest up, keep your belly tight. Okay, so we've got our push, pull, hinge, and squat. And you'll be getting specific numbers of repetitions every week. Anyway, so with the conditioning, for conditioning, we want to go a mile 5 times a week. Now, for some people, that's probably going to sound like a lot. If that is a challenge for you, and even if it's just more convenient for you, you don't have to cover a mile all at one time. So if you want to go for a half-mile walk in the morning, go for a half-mile walk after dinner, that's great. In fact, it might even be better. Studies show that actually going out for a walk after dinner helps to lower your blood sugar levels. If you are feeling more frisky and you want to do a walk, and then you start to feel like that's, you want more, then you can make your walk turn into some run intervals. Or you can run if that's what you feel like. But what we're trying to do is to get the steps in, get the movement in, and make it fit the degree that it sort of like kind of challenges you, but it doesn't feel like it's too much. So stay within a comfort zone. Another option is to make one walk, say the one in the morning, one that is more frisky and one that's got more energy in it, and you put more into it. The one after dinner can be much more of a sort of like de-stressing and relaxing kind of walk. So there is a lot to be said for both of those things, the intensity and also for the working with your parasympathetic nervous system and bringing the intensity down and making it something that you can go and just enjoy. Studies show that stress causes you to hold on to weight. Cortisol levels in particular cause you to hold weight here in your abdominal area. So if you want to go out and just walk the dog and make it something enjoyable, that's awesome. Drink half your body weight in water for these 5 days a week. So you might want to figure out what half your body weight is and kind of measure it out and see what that looks like, because I've never actually measured it out myself. I know that I get 24 ounces of coffee every morning, but I've never sat down and measured the rest of it. So making sure that you have enough water will assure that you are not choosing to try to eat something when what your body really needs is something to drink. I actually know that is a thing because I caught myself years ago stuffing down grapes after aerobics classes and realized I was just thirsty. So it's a thing, and we want to keep you well hydrated, especially if you're going to be out. When it comes to that conditioning and the running and the walking, I know some people said they had treadmills. If you can, if it's not too hot for you, if it's not too uncomfortable for you, try to do this outside, mostly because it challenges you more. You actually use 11% more energy just moving through the atmosphere. It also changes your terrain some so that you're not always trudging. And the reality is walking on a treadmill is not really like walking across the ground, because when you're walking across space, you're actually sort of like moving yourself through. When you're on a treadmill, it's more like you're kind of like balancing yourself while the ground moves underneath you. So it's really different. Again, I want everybody to work within a zone that they feel like they can continue to do over the 30 days. And then finally, the no alcohol or sugar or neither. I'm not a sugar eater particularly, so for me, I'm going to be doing this challenge with you guys from this perspective with eliminating alcohol 5 days a week. I was doing pretty well about giving it up altogether because I was trying to get the calories down, but it's kind of crept back in my diet some, so I know I need to try to get that down if I'm ever going to get my weight back where I want it to be. So, you know, figure out what works for you. If there are days when you know that you just crave, it might help to know that maybe tomorrow's not one of your discipline days and you'll be able to have it. Then you can see tomorrow if you still want it. The other thing we're adding in addition to the exercises for strength and conditioning, is mobility. So I will be uploading also a link to a mobility exercise every week that you'll be adding to your strength exercises. If you know anything at all about Train Smarter, if you've worked out with us before, you know that we don't endorse stretching as being anything that's beneficial for any more than just it feels good. So if you really want to get changes in muscle tone and tightness, then what you've got to do is mobility exercises to strengthen the weak muscles. Generally, for most people, they're in the hips and postural areas. So every week there will be something different from the mobility exercise perspective, so that we can manage to try to address all those areas that tend to be deficient for people. So I think that's it. It's not terribly complicated. You will be getting an email from the app that will tell you that you have lessons and tasks to do. So on your calendar, I'm going to have those things in there for 7 days a week, because I don't know when you are going to choose to do your 5 days. So just check off that you've done these things on the days that you've done them, and we'll be checking in. We'll be checking in every day. And we want to know if there's anything you're struggling with, if anything hurts. If anything hurts, chances are there is just a minor adjustment on how you're doing it that will take care of that, with no problem, because these are not like crazy exercises. They're very functional exercises. So reach back out to me and let me know if there's anything that you're having trouble with, and we are going to be prepared to see some significant changes over the next 30 days. I'm really excited for you. I hope you're excited, and I say goodbye for now. We'll be in touch.